Imagine this. Wood creaks as you walk across the sturdy deck. The sounds of seagulls reach your ears. The gentle swaying of the ship would be slightly calming, if not for the panic aboard the vessel. Behind you, and gaining speed fast, is a dark ship with a familiar flag rising above its mast. The Jolly Roger. The ship is a pirate ship, and you know that when, not if, they catch you, you'll be given a choice. Join them, or be put to death. Pirates and their stories have been around since 500 BC. They ruled the seven seas, making their way into modern books and movies such as Treasure Island and Pirates of the Caribbean. Today, we will sail on over to the history and geography of piracy, be pressed into service aboard a massive pirate ship, follow our maps to the most infamous pirates of legend, dig up treasure hidden by these salty dogs, and lastly, blast our way to the pirates that sailed today. According to CindyVoller.com, the first recorded act of piracy was in 509 BC in the South China Sea. Since then, pirates have appeared in many locations around the world. According to History.com, one of the most famous pirate strongholds was Port Royal, located in Jamaica. In the mid-1600s, the Jamaican governors offered up the port so long as the pirates would protect them from the Spanish. This proposal was quickly accepted by the buccaneers, and the port became a hot spot for British and French privateers. The harbor flourished and became known as the wickedest city on earth. That is, until the 1700s, when a crisis prompted a moral revival. The so-called gallows point of the city became a well-known site for pirate hangings. Other famous pirate sites include locations such as St. Mary's Islands in the Indian Ocean, the Bohemian island of New Providence, and Barataria Bay, Louisiana. As you can see, pirates have never been restricted to the Caribbean. You've probably watched a pirate movie and imagined yourself as a sailor in a faraway place. Well, how would you become a pirate captain? First, you would need to earn the vote of your crew in order to hold the title. Keep in mind, you can also be taken out of command if your crew isn't slightly afraid of you, or if you are too rough. The quartermaster of your ship is second in command, answering only to you. He protects the crew from each other by maintaining order, settling quarrels, and distributing food and other supplies. The sailing master oversees the charts and maps, navigating the ship on whatever course you command. Another essential part of your crew is the gunner, the man behind the artillery of the ship. He trains the men aboard to use the cannons and commands them in times of battle. Lastly, no pirate crew would be able to set sail without the numerous other men of the crew. These men take care of tasks such as cooking, to raising and lowering the sails, to cleaning the deck. Together, your crew of 30 or so sailors allows your ship to sail smoothly. But blimey, that doesn't mean you won't find yourself in danger from gout, scurvy, storms, naval battles, or perhaps worse yet, other ships and their captains. There were hundreds of pirates that roamed the seas, but none could put such cold fear in you as Blackbeard. According to piratesrealm.com, Blackbeard was a rather large, tall man who kept his long black beard braided and tied with ribbons. Despite his less than frightening beard, he kept himself well armed at all times. Accounts have recorded that during fights, Blackbeard dressed in all black, as to look like a devil in the battle. It is said that he once locked himself and his crew in the hold of their ship with burning pots of brimstone, as a test to see who could survive the smoke the longest. Blackbeard won. The notorious captain and his crew terrorized the Atlantic from 1716 to 1718. An attack ordered by the governor of Virginia brought about Blackbeard's demise. By the end of the bloody battle, Blackbeard's body had more than 25 wounds, including 5 from gunshots. It was a brutal ending to this legendary captain. Don't think for a minute that you had to be a man in order to command a pirate ship. Anne Bonny was one of the most famous female pirates of the 18th century. She was born in South Carolina and married sailor John Bonny. The two traveled to New Providence in 1718, where Anne became involved with the sailor John Rackham, also known as Calico Jack. In August of 1720, Anne abandoned her husband, and for 2 months assisted Calico Jack on many pillagings and commandeerings of ships throughout the Caribbean. In November of that year, the crew of Calico Jack was caught and tried. All were found guilty and hung, except for Anne. Whether it was her discovered pregnancy or her father's influence, she was allowed to return to South Carolina, where she later married, had children, and lived out the rest of her life. There are many legends telling of pirates burying their loot in large treasure chests in a deserted island. While this may not always have been true, there are cases of pirate treasure that's still lost or hidden. According to BBC.com, across the world near Madagascar, divers have recovered at least one silver bar belonging to pirate captain William Kidd and his sunken ship, Adventure Galley. If that isn't enough to shiver your timbers, Sam Bellamy's legendary ship, the Whydah Galley, has been discovered off the coast of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. With it were over 200,000 artifacts, including gold ornaments and sword handles. Get your wetsuits ready, landlubbers, because more booty could be hidden inside that hull, waiting to be found. And now we sail into present time. Many believe that the career of piracy abandoned ship with the increase of modernization. However, there are still pirates at work today. Some of the most common areas that modern pirates sail in are East Africa, the Indian Ocean, and the Far East, as stated by MaritimeConnector.com. While modern pirates still loot ships or hold them for ransom, their methods of doing so have changed. These pirates now use night vision goggles, heavy machine guns, rocket launchers, GPS devices to track ships, and use sophisticated speedboats to reach the ships. On average, the world loses as much as 16 billion doubloons, dollars per year due to piracy. During our sea voyage today, we have discussed the various locations of the infamous pirates of history, what you would expect of a pirate's crew, two of the more famous pirates in history, hidden treasure that's not so hidden anymore, and what piracy looks like today. Pirates have been around for centuries, and it seems like they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So, Captain, go back to your ship. As you watch the pirates sail ever closer, chills traveling down your spine, you need to make a decision. Do you deny the calling to the seas? Or do you accept the pirate's offer and become one of the most notorious and well-known men or women in history?